Muscle is not merely a symbol of youth or physical power. It is a living system of communication, adaptation, and survival, especially after the age of 60, when the body begins to negotiate with time in new and subtle ways. Every muscle fiber carries within it a memory of movement, a history of effort, and a potential for renewal. Yet as the years pass, these fibers can slowly fall silent, not because they are incapable, but because they are no longer being invited into action. The human body follows a simple biological rule: what is used is preserved, and what is neglected is gradually released. After 60, the natural decline in muscle mass is not a failure of the body but a reflection of reduced stimulation, a gentle reminder that the language of movement must be spoken more intentionally. When muscles are not challenged, especially those responsible for quick reactions and stability, the nervous system slowly rewires itself to a more cautious, limited state. This is why everyday activities that once felt effortless may begin to feel uncertain, and why balance, strength, and confidence can quietly erode without obvious warning. Walking is often considered the gold standard of exercise for seniors, and while it offers undeniable benefits for the heart, circulation, and emotional well-being, it does not provide enough mechanical challenge to fully engage the muscle fibers responsible for power, balance, and protection. These fast-responding fibers are essential for catching ourselves during a stumble, rising from a low chair, or quickly adjusting our posture. Without specific stimulation, they weaken, and the brain gradually stops calling upon them. This is not a dramatic loss, but a subtle fading, like a radio signal growing faint over time. Strength-based movements, even when performed gently and without heavy weights, restore this signal. They tell the nervous system that these fibers are still needed, still relevant, still part of daily life. When an older adult slowly stands up from a seated position without using the hands, the body engages a complex network of muscles across the legs, hips, and core, while the brain coordinates timing, balance, and force. This single movement becomes a profound neurological event, reinforcing pathways that support independence and stability. The relationship between muscle and the brain deepens as we age. In youth, muscle strength is often driven by hormones and natural growth signals, but later in life, neural activation becomes the dominant factor. The brain must consciously recruit muscle fibers that once responded automatically. This is why deliberate, focused movement becomes so powerful. When attention is directed toward a simple action, such as slowly lifting the arms or gently pressing the feet into the ground, neural pathways light up, reinforcing coordination and control. Over time, these pathways become more efficient, allowing movements to feel smoother, steadier, and more confident. This neurological renewal is just as important as physical strengthening, because it rebuilds the communication network that allows the body to respond effectively to its environment. Muscle also plays a critical role in metabolic health. Each muscle contraction acts like a pump, enhancing blood flow, improving glucose regulation, and stimulating the release of beneficial molecules that reduce inflammation and support tissue repair. After 60, when metabolic processes naturally slow, maintaining active muscle becomes one of the most effective strategies for preserving energy, clarity, and resilience. Strength-based movements encourage muscles to absorb glucose more efficiently, stabilizing blood sugar levels and reducing the risk of metabolic disorders. They also stimulate the production of proteins that protect nerve cells and support cognitive function, creating a powerful link between physical strength and mental clarity. In this way, muscle becomes not just a tool for movement, but a guardian of overall health, quietly influencing systems throughout the body. Another essential aspect of muscle health in later life is its relationship with bone density. Muscles and bones exist in a dynamic partnership, each responding to the forces exerted by the other. When muscles contract against resistance, they gently stress the bones, signaling them to maintain strength and structure. Without this stimulus, bones gradually lose density, becoming more fragile and susceptible to fractures. Simple resistance-based exercises, such as controlled leg presses, gentle squats, or wall push-ups, create enough mechanical load to support bone health without placing excessive strain on joints. This balance between challenge and safety allows the skeletal system to remain robust, supporting posture, mobility, and long-term independence. The emotional dimension of muscle strength is equally profound. As physical capability declines, many older adults experience a quiet loss of confidence, often accompanied by a subtle fear of falling or injury. This fear can lead to reduced activity, which in turn accelerates physical decline, creating a cycle that becomes increasingly difficult to break. Strength-based exercises interrupt this cycle by restoring a sense of control and competence. Each successful movement reinforces self-trust, gradually replacing fear with assurance. This psychological shift has far-reaching effects, influencing posture, gait, and even social engagement. When individuals feel strong, they move differently, carry themselves differently, and approach daily tasks with renewed optimism. The biology of muscle adaptation reveals a remarkable truth. Age does not eliminate the body's capacity for growth, it merely slows the pace. Muscle fibers can still increase in size and strength well into advanced age, provided they receive consistent stimulation. Research has shown that even individuals in their 70s, 80s, and beyond can achieve meaningful gains in strength through gentle resistance training. These improvements are not just numerical measurements but tangible enhancements in daily life, such as climbing stairs with ease, carrying groceries comfortably, or standing for longer periods without fatigue. Each of these capabilities contributes to autonomy, dignity, and quality of life, reaffirming the idea that movement is a form of self-care deeply rooted in biological wisdom. The way strength exercises are performed matters as much as the exercises themselves. Slow, controlled movements emphasize muscle engagement while minimizing joint stress. This approach respects the natural changes in connective tissue and joint structure that occur with aging, allowing the body to adapt without discomfort. By focusing on alignment, breathing, and smooth transitions, these movements cultivate mindfulness, transforming exercise into a meditative experience. This mindful engagement enhances neural activation and encourages a deeper connection between body and awareness. Over time, exercise becomes less about effort and more about presence, fostering a sense of harmony that extends beyond physical benefits. Consistency remains the silent architect of transformation. Sporadic bursts of activity cannot produce lasting change, but gentle, regular practice gradually reshapes muscle tissue, neural pathways, and metabolic function. Each repetition, no matter how modest, sends a cumulative message to the body that strength and stability are priorities. This message, reinforced daily, guides biological processes toward preservation rather than decline. In this way, exercise becomes a dialogue with time, an ongoing negotiation in which the body responds with resilience and adaptability. The human body after 60 stands at a crossroads between preservation and surrender. Muscle strength becomes a decisive factor in determining the direction of this journey. Through intentional movement, the body is reminded of its capacity to grow, adapt, and thrive. Each contraction, each controlled rise, each steady stance becomes an affirmation of life's continuity. Strength training, when approached with gentleness and respect, evolves into a practice of self-discovery, revealing layers of capability that may have long been forgotten. In these moments of movement, the body whispers its enduring truth, that vitality is not a fleeting gift of youth, but a renewable resource shaped by attention, care, and conscious action. Balance is not a single skill stored in one part of the body, it is a living conversation between the brain, the senses, and the muscles, unfolding every moment we stand, walk, or shift our weight. It is so deeply woven into our daily experience that we rarely notice it until it begins to fade. After the age of 60, this conversation often grows quieter, not because the body suddenly forgets how to balance, but because the signals that maintain stability become less precise and less frequent. The inner ear, which senses motion and orientation, the eyes, which interpret spatial information, and the receptors in the joints and feet, which detect pressure and position, all contribute vital data that the brain uses to maintain equilibrium. When these signals weaken or fall out of harmony, the brain must work harder to keep the body upright, and the simple act of standing becomes an act of constant adjustment. As we age, the sensitivity of these sensory systems gradually declines. Vision may lose sharpness, joint receptors may become less responsive, and the inner ear may process movement more slowly. This does not mean balance is lost, but it does mean that the margin for error becomes smaller. The body compensates by stiffening, slowing movements, and avoiding situations that feel uncertain. While this protective strategy reduces immediate risk, it also limits the stimulation needed to preserve balance capacity. Over time, reduced challenge leads to further decline, creating a feedback loop that subtly reshapes posture, gait, and confidence. Balance exercises interrupt this loop by reawakening the sensory systems and retraining the brain to integrate their signals more effectively. When a person stands on one leg, even for a few seconds, the body is immersed in a complex neurological task. Muscles throughout the foot, ankle, knee, hip, and core adjust continuously to micro shifts in weight. At the same time, the eyes scan the environment, the inner ear monitors head position, and joint receptors report angles and tension. The brain receives this flood of information and instantly calculates the necessary corrections to maintain stability. Each tiny wobble becomes a lesson, teaching the nervous system how to respond more efficiently the next time. Over repeated practice, these responses become smoother and more precise, gradually restoring a sense of ease and control. The adaptability of the brain, known as neuroplasticity, remains active well into later life. Balance training takes advantage of this capacity by challenging neural circuits in a way that promotes growth and refinement. Each time balance is slightly disturbed and successfully regained, new connections form between neurons, strengthening the pathways responsible for coordination and reaction. This process does not require intense or risky movements. In fact, gentle, controlled challenges are often more effective because they allow for sustained focus and safety. Simple exercises such as slow heel-to-toe walking, controlled weight shifts, or standing with eyes gently closed stimulate these neural adaptations, gradually enhancing stability and spatial awareness. Balance also reflects the quality of communication between the left and right sides of the body. Effective coordination requires seamless cooperation across this internal boundary, enabling smooth transitions and symmetrical movement. As these connections weaken, movement can become hesitant or uneven. Balance exercises encourage cross-body integration, reinforcing bilateral communication and promoting fluidity. Over time, this improves not only physical stability but also cognitive function, as the same neural networks involved in coordination support attention, memory, and problem-solving. In this way, balance training becomes a form of whole-brain exercise, nurturing mental clarity alongside physical steadiness. The emotional dimension of balance is often overlooked, yet it profoundly influences physical performance. Fear of falling can alter posture and movement patterns, increasing stiffness and reducing responsiveness. This tension disrupts natural balance mechanisms, ironically making instability more likely. Gentle balance exercises performed in a calm, supportive environment help to dissolve this fear. As individuals experience success in maintaining stability, confidence grows, and the body relaxes into more natural movement. This psychological shift enhances proprioception, the internal sense of body position, allowing the brain to interpret sensory signals more accurately. Gradually, movement becomes an expression of trust rather than caution, restoring a sense of freedom and exploration. Balance training also has a direct impact on posture and alignment. When the body learns to distribute weight evenly and respond dynamically to shifts, the spine naturally lengthens, the shoulders relax, and the head aligns more comfortably over the torso. This improved alignment reduces strain on joints and muscles, alleviating common discomforts associated with aging. As posture improves, breathing deepens, oxygen flow increases, and energy levels rise, creating a positive cycle that reinforces both physical and emotional well-being. In this state of balanced alignment, movement feels lighter and more effortless, enhancing daily function and enjoyment. The subtle improvements gained through balance exercises extend into every aspect of life. Walking becomes smoother, turning becomes easier, and transitions such as rising from a chair or stepping onto uneven ground become more confident. These changes may appear modest, yet their cumulative effect is transformative. They reduce the risk of falls, support independence, and enhance overall quality of life. Each stable step affirms the body's capacity to adapt and thrive, even in later years. Balance is ultimately a reflection of harmony within the body. It arises from the seamless integration of sensory input, neural processing, and muscular response. By nurturing this integration through gentle, mindful practice, individuals over 60 can rediscover a sense of grounded presence and stability. Each moment of equilibrium becomes a meditation in motion, a reminder of the intricate intelligence that sustains us. Through these practices, balance evolves from a simple physical ability into a profound expression of connection between mind, body, and environment, quietly restoring confidence, resilience, and grace. Slow movement has a quiet power that is often underestimated in a world that celebrates speed, intensity, and visible effort. Yet within the human body, especially after the age of 60, slow movement becomes a language of deep strength, healing, and renewal. When motion is slowed, awareness naturally sharpens. The mind begins to notice subtle shifts in balance, gentle tension in the muscles, and the rhythm of the breath. This awareness invites the nervous system into a state of cooperation rather than command, allowing the body to engage in a more intelligent and efficient way. Through slow, deliberate movement, muscles remain under tension for longer periods, stimulating growth and endurance without overwhelming the joints or connective tissues. As movement slows, the body transitions from reactive effort to intentional control. Each muscle fiber is given time to activate fully, recruiting supportive muscles that might otherwise remain dormant during quick, forceful actions. This prolonged engagement enhances neuromuscular coordination, teaching the brain how to distribute effort more evenly across the body. Over time, this improves efficiency, reducing unnecessary strain and minimizing the risk of injury. For older adults, this method of training aligns naturally with the body's changing needs, honoring its pace while still challenging its capabilities. Slow movement also encourages deeper breathing, which plays a critical role in strength development and overall health. When movements are rushed, breathing often becomes shallow and irregular, limiting oxygen delivery to tissues. In contrast, deliberate motion invites slower, fuller breaths that oxygenate the blood, nourish the muscles, and calm the nervous system. This synergy between breath and movement creates an internal environment conducive to repair and growth. Oxygen fuels cellular metabolism, while the relaxed nervous system reduces the production of stress hormones that can hinder recovery. Together, these effects foster a state of physiological balance that supports sustainable strength. The calming influence of slow movement extends beyond physical benefits, reaching into the realm of emotional well-being. As the pace of motion decreases, mental chatter often quiets, giving rise to a meditative quality. This mindful engagement reduces anxiety and enhances emotional regulation, creating a sense of inner stability. For individuals who may experience stress related to aging, health concerns, or life transitions, this gentle rhythm offers a refuge, a space where the body and mind can reconnect. In this state, exercise becomes not a task to complete, but a moment to inhabit, nurturing a compassionate relationship with oneself. From a biological perspective, slow movement stimulates muscle fibers in a way that supports endurance and functional strength. Holding gentle tension during controlled motions activates both slow twitch and fast twitch fibers, promoting balanced development. This is particularly important for maintaining stability and preventing falls, as it strengthens the muscles responsible for postural control and rapid correction. The extended time under tension also increases blood flow to working muscles, enhancing nutrient delivery and waste removal. This circulation supports tissue health and accelerates recovery, allowing for more frequent and consistent practice. Joint health is another area where slow movement demonstrates its value. With age, cartilage becomes less resilient, and synovial fluid, which lubricates the joints, may decrease. Gentle, controlled motion encourages the production and distribution of this fluid, nourishing joint surfaces and reducing stiffness. By moving slowly through comfortable ranges of motion, individuals maintain joint mobility while minimizing impact. This approach preserves the delicate structures within the joints, supporting long-term comfort and function. Over time, these movements can reduce chronic discomfort and enhance overall ease of motion. The nervous system responds profoundly to the tempo of movement. Slow, rhythmic actions activate the parasympathetic branch, which governs rest, digestion, and recovery. This activation counterbalances the chronic stress that many individuals experience, promoting relaxation and resilience. As the nervous system settles into this restorative mode, inflammation decreases, immune function improves, and hormonal balance is restored. These systemic effects extend the benefits of slow movement far beyond the muscles and joints, influencing overall vitality and longevity. There is also a cognitive dimension to slow movement that enriches its impact. By requiring sustained attention and precise control, these exercises engage brain regions associated with focus, memory, and spatial awareness. This cognitive engagement supports mental sharpness and may help protect against age-related cognitive decline. Each deliberate motion becomes a mental exercise, reinforcing neural pathways that support learning and adaptability. In this way, slow movement serves as a bridge between physical and cognitive health, nurturing both simultaneously. Consistency in slow movement practice allows these benefits to accumulate gradually, creating profound change over time. Unlike high-intensity exercise, which can lead to fatigue and discouragement, gentle, mindful movements invite daily participation. This regularity fosters habit formation, embedding movement into the rhythm of everyday life. Each session builds upon the last, reinforcing strength, coordination, and confidence. As progress unfolds, individuals often discover a renewed sense of agency, a recognition that their bodies are still capable of growth and transformation. Slow movement also cultivates patience and self-compassion. By honoring the body's current capacity rather than striving for external benchmarks, individuals develop a more supportive relationship with themselves. This shift in perspective transforms exercise from a measure of performance into an act of care. Each movement becomes a gesture of kindness, reinforcing the idea that health is not a destination, but a continuous process of listening and responding. Through this lens, physical practice becomes a form of self-respect, nurturing resilience and emotional balance. In the quiet precision of slow movement, the body reveals its remarkable adaptability. Muscles strengthen, joints soften, breath deepens, and the mind settles. These changes unfold gently, almost imperceptibly, yet their cumulative effect reshapes the experience of aging. Strength emerges not from force, but from presence, endurance arises not from struggle, but from continuity. Within this gentle rhythm, the body rediscovers its natural intelligence, guiding each movement with wisdom and care. Posture is the silent language the body speaks to gravity, expressing how we distribute weight, align our bones, and engage our muscles throughout every moment of the day. After 60, this language often becomes less fluent, shaped by years of habits, injuries, emotional stress, and gradual muscular imbalance. The shoulders may drift forward, the head may tilt downward, and the spine may curve in subtle ways that compress the chest and restrict breathing. These changes are not merely cosmetic, they influence circulation, nerve function, digestion, and even emotional state. When posture collapses, the body expends more energy to perform simple tasks, and discomfort quietly accumulates. Yet posture remains remarkably adaptable, even in later years, responding quickly to mindful attention and gentle corrective movement. The spine is designed as a dynamic structure, capable of absorbing shock, supporting upright posture, and facilitating fluid motion. Its natural curves distribute mechanical stress efficiently, allowing muscles and ligaments to share the load. Over time, however, prolonged sitting, limited movement variety, and protective tension reshape these curves, leading to stiffness and imbalance. Gentle posture-based exercises invite the spine back into its natural alignment, encouraging length, mobility, and resilience. As the vertebrae regain their optimal positioning, pressure on surrounding nerves diminishes, often alleviating discomfort that may have persisted for years. This relief is not dramatic or immediate, but gradual, unfolding as tissues soften and circulation improves. Breathing is intimately connected to posture, forming a feedback loop that influences both physical and emotional well-being. When the chest collapses and the shoulders round forward, the lungs cannot fully expand, limiting oxygen intake. Shallow breathing becomes habitual, reducing energy levels and increasing fatigue. By restoring upright alignment, the rib cage opens, allowing deeper, more efficient respiration. This enhanced breathing pattern increases oxygen delivery to tissues, supports cardiovascular health, and promotes mental clarity. The act of standing tall thus becomes a physiological intervention, influencing systems far beyond the musculoskeletal framework. Posture also affects the distribution of force through the joints. Misalignment places uneven stress on the hips, knees, and ankles, contributing to discomfort and degenerative changes. By re-establishing balanced alignment, posture exercises redistribute these forces more evenly, protecting joint surfaces and supporting long-term mobility. Simple movements that engage the core, lengthen the spine, and relax the shoulders encourage this realignment, gradually retraining the body to adopt healthier patterns. Over time, walking becomes smoother, transitions become easier, and the risk of injury diminishes. The nervous system responds sensitively to postural changes. Upright alignment stimulates alertness and engagement, while slouched posture is associated with fatigue and low mood. This relationship reflects the bidirectional communication between body and mind, where physical form influences emotional state and vice versa. By practicing posture awareness, individuals can harness this connection, using physical alignment to cultivate mental resilience. Standing tall can evoke feelings of confidence and presence, reinforcing a sense of agency and self-worth. These subtle shifts in self-perception have profound implications for emotional health, particularly during a stage of life often marked by transition and reflection. Posture training also enhances proprioception, the internal sense of body position. As individuals learn to align their spine, shoulders, and pelvis, they become more attuned to subtle sensations of tension and release. This heightened awareness allows for early detection of strain, enabling timely adjustments that prevent discomfort from escalating. Over time, this self-monitoring becomes intuitive, guiding movement choices throughout the day. Whether reaching for an object, bending to tie a shoe, or sitting at a table, posture awareness supports efficiency and ease, reducing cumulative stress on the body. The impact of posture extends into balance and stability. An aligned spine positions the center of mass optimally over the base of support, facilitating equilibrium. When posture is compromised, the center of mass shifts, increasing the likelihood of instability. By restoring alignment, individuals enhance their natural balance mechanisms, reducing the effort required to remain upright. This stability fosters confidence in movement, encouraging greater physical activity and social engagement. Each step becomes an expression of harmony between structure and motion, reinforcing the body's capacity for graceful adaptation. Posture-based exercises often emphasize gentle spinal elongation, scapular mobility, and core engagement. These elements work synergistically to create a stable yet flexible framework. Core muscles provide a supportive corset that stabilizes the spine, while mobile shoulders allow the upper body to move freely without compromising toggle. This combination supports functional movement patterns, enabling tasks such as lifting, reaching, and turning to be performed with minimal strain. Over time, these movements become ingrained, reshaping habitual posture and fostering lasting change. The psychological dimension of posture cannot be overstated. How we hold ourselves influences how we perceive ourselves and how others perceive us. An upright posture conveys openness, readiness, and vitality, while a collapsed stance may signal withdrawal or fatigue. By cultivating awareness and alignment, individuals can subtly reshape their interactions with the world, projecting confidence and approachability. This shift can enhance social connections, reinforcing emotional well-being and a sense of belonging. Consistency in posture practice allows these benefits to accumulate, gradually transforming the body's default alignment. Each moment of mindful correction reinforces neural pathways that support healthy posture, making it easier to maintain over time. As alignment improves, discomfort diminishes, energy increases, and movement becomes more fluid. The body begins to inhabit space with greater ease, reflecting an internal balance that extends into daily life. Through gentle attention and persistent care, posture evolves into a dynamic expression of health, resilience, and self-respect. Consistency is the quiet force that reshapes biology, not through dramatic effort, but through steady repetition that gently persuades the body to adapt. The human body is remarkably responsive to patterns. Every day, it listens, records, and adjusts according to what we repeatedly ask of it. When movement becomes part of daily rhythm, even in small amounts, the body begins to reorganize itself around that expectation. Muscles strengthen, nerves reconnect, circulation improves, and metabolic processes recalibrate, all without the need for intensity or exhaustion. After 60, this principle becomes especially powerful, because the body no longer responds optimally to sudden, extreme demands, but thrives on gentle, frequent reminders of its capacity to move, stabilize, and endure. Each time a movement is repeated, a signal travels through the nervous system, reinforcing specific neural pathways. At first, these pathways may feel weak or uncertain, producing sensations of wobbling, hesitation, or fatigue. But with consistent practice, the brain becomes more efficient at transmitting these signals, allowing movements to feel smoother and more natural. This process, known as neural adaptation, is one of the most important mechanisms of physical improvement in later life. Strength, balance, and coordination do not emerge solely from muscle tissue, but from the brain's ability to organize movement. Through repetition, the brain learns to recruit the right muscles at the right time, conserving energy and enhancing control. Over weeks and months, this refinement leads to profound improvements in stability and confidence. Consistency also influences muscle physiology in subtle but lasting ways. Gentle daily movements stimulate protein synthesis, encouraging muscle fibers to maintain their size and function. While the changes may be gradual, they accumulate steadily, counteracting the natural tendency toward muscle loss. Unlike sporadic intense workouts, which can strain aging joints and connective tissues, consistent moderate activity provides a steady stream of positive signals that promote adaptation without overload. This approach supports recovery, reduces inflammation, and fosters sustainable progress. The body begins to expect movement, preparing itself internally by improving circulation, joint lubrication, and metabolic readiness. Metabolism, which naturally slows with age, is particularly responsive to regular activity. Each bout of movement enhances insulin sensitivity, improves glucose uptake, and stimulates the release of beneficial hormones that regulate appetite, energy, and mood. When exercise is practiced consistently, these metabolic improvements become more stable, supporting weight management and reducing the risk of chronic disease. The cumulative effect of daily movement extends beyond physical appearance, shaping internal health in ways that profoundly influence longevity and vitality. Consistency also nurtures the cardiovascular system. Gentle, repeated activity encourages the heart to pump more efficiently, strengthens blood vessels, and enhances oxygen delivery to tissues. Over time, this reduces resting heart rate, improves endurance, and supports overall circulation. These changes unfold gradually, often without noticeable milestones, yet they form the foundation of sustained energy and resilience. The heart, like muscle, responds best to regular, moderate challenge, adapting to the demands placed upon it with quiet efficiency. The psychological impact of consistency is equally transformative. Establishing a daily movement practice creates a sense of structure and purpose, anchoring the day in intention rather than habit alone. This ritual fosters discipline, not as rigid control, but as gentle commitment to self-care. Each completed session becomes a small victory, reinforcing motivation and self-belief. Over time, these victories accumulate, reshaping identity from someone who struggles with movement to someone who values and embodies it. This shift in self-perception influences behavior, encouraging healthier choices in nutrition, sleep, and stress management, creating a holistic cycle of well-being. Emotional resilience grows alongside physical consistency. Movement stimulates the release of endorphins and other neurochemicals that enhance mood and reduce anxiety. When practiced regularly, these effects stabilize emotional states, fostering calm and optimism. For many older adults, this emotional balance becomes as valuable as physical strength, supporting social engagement, creativity, and curiosity. The body and mind, nourished by consistent movement, begin to experience life with renewed presence and appreciation. Consistency also builds trust between the individual and their body. Each day of gentle practice reinforces the message that movement is safe, beneficial, and supportive. This trust dissolves fear of injury and hesitation, encouraging exploration and playfulness. As confidence grows, individuals often expand their range of activities, engaging more fully in daily tasks and recreational pursuits. This expansion further enhances physical capacity, creating a positive feedback loop that sustains progress. The simplicity of consistent practice is one of its greatest strengths. It does not require complex equipment, extensive time, or specialized environments. Short, focused sessions performed at home, in a garden, or even beside a chair can yield meaningful results. This accessibility reduces barriers to participation, making it easier to integrate movement into daily life. By removing obstacles, consistency becomes achievable, transforming exercise from an occasional event into a natural extension of routine. Biologically, the body thrives on predictability. Regular movement synchronizes circadian rhythms, improving sleep quality and hormonal balance. Muscles recover more efficiently, joints remain supple, and energy levels stabilize. This internal harmony supports overall health, reinforcing the interconnectedness of bodily systems. Each day of movement becomes a thread woven into the fabric of physiological regulation, contributing to a pattern of stability and resilience. Over time, the cumulative effect of consistency reveals itself not in dramatic transformation, but in subtle ease. Rising from a chair becomes smoother, walking feels lighter, balance steadies, and fatigue diminishes. These changes, though gradual, redefine daily experience, restoring a sense of autonomy and freedom. Through steady repetition, the body remembers its innate capacity to adapt, responding to gentle persistence with enduring strength and vitality. If you found these insights helpful and want to continue learning practical, science-backed strategies to stay healthy, strong, and vibrant as you age, don't forget to like this video, share it with friends and family who could benefit, and subscribe to our channel for daily senior wellness tips, nutrition guidance, and simple lifestyle hacks designed to enhance longevity and quality of life. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video that can help you live healthier, happier, and more empowered every day.